Hello Bookish friends, welcome to my first special video about my 2023 reading goals. In this video I'm going to talk about the 4 trilogies that I chose to read and finish in the year 2023. I tried to choose trilogies from different genres, and all of the first book in the trilogies have been in my TBR for more than 2 years. So it was even past time that I read those trilogies. The first trilogy that I chose for reading in the months of January, February and March is a young adult fantasy trilogy, which is written by Rutroski. The first book in the Winner's Triology is The Winner's Curse. It was published in 2014 by New York, Farrar, Straus and Groves publishers. The second book, The Winner's Crime, followed in 2015. And the story concluded with the third book, The Winner's Kiss, published in 2016. In this video, I'm going to read the Goodreads synopsis of the first book in each trilogy, because reading the synopsises of the other books would be spoilery for all of us who did not read the books. The synopsis of Winner's Curse is as follows. As a general, daughters in a vast empire that rebels in war and enslaves those it conquers, 17-year-old Kestrel has two choices. She can join the military or get married, but Kestrel has other intentions. One day, she is startled to find a kindred spirit in a young slave up for auction. Erin's eyes seem to defy everything and everyone. Following her instinct, Kestrel buys him with unexpected consequences. It is not long before she has to hide her growing love for Erin. But he too has a secret, and Kestrel quickly learns that the price she paid for a fellow human is much higher than she ever could have imagined. Set in a richly imagined new world, The Winner's Curse by Mary Rutroski is a story of deadly games where everything is at stake. And the gamble is whether you will keep your head or lose your heart. So it seems like a typical young adult fantasy trilogy. To be honest, the reason that I chose this trilogy was the gorgeous covers of the books. I just adore the covers. I hope I enjoy the books as much as I enjoy looking at the covers. The second trilogy that I chose to read for the months of April, May and June is a historical fiction trilogy, Remnants series by Margaret Pinard. Margaret Pinard is one of the authors who's active in both BookTube and AuthorTube, and she is one of my dearest friends here, and I really wanted to read her books, but with the exception of the first book, I could purchase the second and the third book very recently. And I know many of my friends would like to read her books, and I thought it would be a great opportunity for us to read them all together. And maybe, if she wishes, we can have special chats about the books. The first book in Remnants Triology was published in 2015. The second book, Grasping the Root, was published in 2017. The last and the third book, Storm Rack and Spindrift, followed in 2019. The Goodreads synopsis of The Keening says that a family torn apart by the effects of war must now deal with the trickle-down effects of peace, the collapse of the kelp industry on which they depend. Sheila MacLean worries about her children getting ahead in the rapidly industrializing world of 1822, while her second husband, Gillian, is never quite sure about his ability to replace the father of her children. Neal, the firstborn son at 16, must put duty before his own hopes and dreams, but what about when love enters his life? Morny, younger than Neal by a year, can no longer count on a dependable future in her own parish, and wants to find a way to contribute to her family's safety. But is marriage the only way to do it? Little ones, Gina and Alistair, are swept along with the tides of change as the Macleans flee their home in search of peace and security. But where will they find a new place to call home? When will the keening end and their new lives begin? I am very excited by the synopsis and I cannot wait to read this trilogy. Third trilogy that I'm planning to read in 2023 is Crazy Rich Asians trilogy by Kwan. Uh, this is a romance trilogy. The books mainly takes place in Singapore. The first book, Crazy Rich Asians, was published in 2013. The second book, China Rich Girlfriend, followed in 2015. The last book in the trilogy, Rich People's Problems, was published in 2017. All books were published by Doubleday. So the synopsis is as follows. Crazy Rich Asians is the outrageously funny debate novel about three super rich, pedigreed Chinese families and the gossip, backbiting and scheming that occurs when the heir to one of the most massive fortunes in Asia brings home his American-born Chinese girlfriend to the wedding of the season. When Rachel Chu agrees to spend the summer in Singapore with her boyfriend, Nicholas Young, she envies a humble family home, long drives to explore the island, and quality time with the man she might one day marry. But what she doesn't know is that Nick's family home happens to look like a palace that she'll ride in more private planes than cars, and that with one of the Asia's most eligible bachelors on her arm, Rachel might as well have a target on her back. It looks like a very fun trilogy, and I know the adaptation of the first book has been made, so it will be a valuable addition to my From Pages to Screen video series too. The last trilogy that I will read for the months of October, November, and December is The Ark of a Scythe Triology by Neal Schusterman. It says that it's a young adult dystopian trilogy, but I'm not sure if it is between adult and young adult because I have heard both terms used for this trilogy. The first book, Scythe, was published in 2016. The second book, Thunderhead, was published in 2018. The last book, The Toll, followed in 2019. And short stories belonging to this world, Gleanings, Stories from the Ark of a Scythe, was published in 2022. I will not include the last short story collection in my read-along of the trilogy. So we will read the three main books in this world. And the synopsis of Scythe is as follows. A world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things, has even conquered death. Now Scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. Citro and Rowan are chosen to apprentice to a Scythe, a role that neither wants. These teens must master the art of taking life, knowing that the consequence of failure could mean losing their own. I think this trilogy has a very interesting plot, and like all of the other trilogies that I've chose to read along, I cannot wait to read the Ark of a Scythe trilogy too. So I will make a call for all of the trilogies. If you want to read those trilogies with me and other friends in the chosen months, please comment down below. Especially comment down below or message me in Instagram if you want to read the Winner's Curse trilogy or join in one of the other two books in the read-along. I will most probably make an Instagram group, but we can decide on other options according to the group members' wishes. I can do Voxer as well. I love bird reading books, and more is the merrier when it comes to sharing our feelings about the books. And last but of course not least, if you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose Scythe. Scythe means tırpan in Turkish, and tırpan is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.